This is Alex Rodriguez, a UNF student and amateur pour painter. He picked up the hobby late last year in between semesters, and he invited me out to show me how it's done.
Okay, so acrylic pour paintings are pretty simple. You pretty much just need to make sure that you have like a canvas, some kind of like bin to let the canvas dry and like drip paint into, and something to like support the painting while it's in there because you don't want it to like dry to the base of the box or the bin. The only other things that you're going to need are cups, paint, acrylic paint specifically because it's acrylic paint pour, and then some kind of pouring medium.
A pouring medium is a solution added to paints to help it flow more smoothly. It also helps prevent cracking while drying.
You pretty much stir it in the cup together until when you lift the stick out of the cup, it kind of falls off in a steady stream, not in like chunks because then it's still too thick. There's different types of acrylic pours that you can do as well. I usually do a dirty pour, which means you put a bunch of different colors in one big cup and then you pour it directly on the canvas and spread it around.
After selecting and mixing his paints, Alex gets started on the fun part.
This is not a hobby for people who don't like to get dirty. What you're going to do is, after you pour the paint on, you have to pick up the canvas with your hands. I mean, you can wear gloves, but who cares? You're going to pick up the canvas with your hands. You have to like tilt the canvas so that the paint will like move and cover the whole surface until it's like literally falling over the edges. A lot of people don't like this art style because they say it's a waste of paint, which it is, but the end result's usually really beautiful. You can kind of start seeing what it's going to look like. If you're like, I want this specific like streak of color more in the corner, you can keep tilting it in that direction and see if it can get there without wasting too much paint. But once it looks kind of like how you're going to want it to look, you're just going to set it back in the bin that you're like pouring it over on something so that it doesn't, like I said, get dried to the bottom of the box. And you just leave it there for like a day or two, and it should be what you're looking for. I usually like to do the dirty pour because it creates more cells, and cells are these things where it's like you'll have a majority of one color, let's say black, for instance. As you're like letting it sit, paint that's underneath, like different colors, like will kind of raise to the surface of that black. They're called cells, I guess because they look like cells from biology. Not really sure why. That's what you're kind of aiming for usually with acrylic pours just because it makes it look really unique. Yeah, it's super fun. I just love doing them.
And with that, the paint will set for about 2 days, and the finished product will be ready for whatever it's bound for.